Thank you, everybody. I'll be brief. I'd just like to thank Rennie and his whole group, but mainly Rennie, who I've developed a relationship with these last few years. These institutions, and this particular institution is, you can see, it creates such warmth, such legacy. These are vitally important institutions. I've had a relationship with the National Baseball Hall of Fame for the past 30 years now as the MC, something I never even dreamed of doing, but an institution like this preserves memories and legacy, and it allows us to remember what was important, what's vitally important to us at the time that you think, oh, we'll always remember this. And here's the thing, as you get older, and a lot of people in the room can attest to this, no, they won't. You won't, not without these type of institutions. So I'm proud to be here, I'm proud to be honored, I'm proud to be alongside the current class. I just pinch myself when I see it or when I hear it. When my wife was mentioning it to me, you know, you're a Hall of Famer. I'm like, oh, come on. But it's an honor to be here, and just wanted to stress the importance of these type of places, that they provide so much to knowing our history. History gets compressed. We forget things. The new generation especially, they don't have to memorize anything anymore. They won't know. They need to be told. So, Rennie, thank you so much. I'm honored to be in this group. I'm honored as well. I was in to be the class with Perry Lee Barber. Perry, where are you? A dear friend and an outstanding umpire. There's Perry. Say hello to Perry. It's so great to see you. Fantastic umpire. I've seen her work many times. I just would say, I never dreamt of doing the things that I'm doing now, to be able to have my own show on the Major League Baseball Network and to be able to think of anything fascinating about baseball, which is endlessly fascinating. I can look at the numbers, I can look at the field, I can look anywhere. I can watch it all day long, every single day. It's endlessly fascinating. I never dreamt of hosting the Hall of Fame ceremonies and be among the all-time greats and be in that rare air that you can smell when you're in the major leagues. It was mentioned a few times here, just when you get to a major league park and you see the field and you see what it's like, it's an elevated existence, and it's fantastic. There's a couple of themes through everybody's speech here that that really resonate with me in coaching and passing it down. I know for me and baseball, if you ask me my highlight in baseball, even with all the things that I've been a part of, that I've been lucky enough to witness and report on and write about and write a book and all these things and be in Cooperstown for so many years, nothing ever gets better than coaching my sons in Little League at Kingston, New York. Nothing. To be able to, and look, I don't have anywhere near the experience of so many coaches who 300 wins in college and high school and everywhere else. I'm not saying that, but nothing beats being able to hit infield to your boys, hit infield to your team, the neighborhood kids, and see them surging with confidence. And I'd like to thank my family for being here. Look, we know that this is only important when you can share it with your family. You hear that as well. My kids are here, 4 of my 5 are here. 1 is across the country and can't be here. But Lucky and Peter, my sons, are here. My daughters Claire and Alexandra are here. Go ahead, you can applaud. Lucky was our shortstop. Dennis Sheehan on our championship Kingston Colonial team, 1998. It meant a lot at the time. Dennis was there in Kingston at the time. And where did I leave off? I have I got my sons in, Lucky and Pete, Claire and Alex, and my son-in-law John, and my daughters-in-law Sabrina and Amy. Thank you so much for coming up. And my son Lucky just flew in from San Francisco on the red-eye just to be here today. Lucky, I appreciate that. Thank you. And Claire is saying now, you know, the drive from Brooklyn, that's no picnic. I know, Claire. I was lucky enough to marry a woman who loved baseball. My wife, Nicole, has been with me every step of the way. She's the love of my life. And she can't get it. I would tell people I go to Cooperstown, and this was for the past 30 years, we go to Cooperstown on our anniversary in February for our weekend trip. And they say, your wife goes to Cooperstown with you in the winter? I said, don't they all? And I'm told, no, they don't. The first gift, I thought about this today. What can I tell quickly? The first present, Nicole, you ever gave me, do you remember it? Before we were married. It was a 1971 Carl Yastrzemski Topps card. And I think about this. The first thing she bought for me, we were at a baseball card show. Realized we're not married yet, and I'm taking her to a baseball card show. What a guy, nothing but the best, baby. Wait, it was at the Red Hook Bowling Alley. It's a bowling alley on a Saturday night. Here we are looking at baseball cards. Stick with me. It gets better. I'm looking at these baseball cards, and I think that Carl Ystrip, now 1971. Anybody know those cards? You know baseball cards? They're a classic set. And I'm a little kid. It's my first time I'm getting baseball cards as a kid. And so to me, the 71s bring me back instantly. So, you know, I'm in my mid-20s, and I'm looking at these cards, and the Carl Ystripsky card was, I think, a higher number, so I didn't have that one in my collection. But it was $20. And I'm not going to spend $20 on my salary at WTZA in Kingston. And I'm looking at it, I'm going, no, I just can't do it. It's $20, I just can't do it. It's silly to spend it on a baseball card. We get into the car and get in there with Nicole, and I said, all right, well, let's go back. She goes, didn't you want that card? I said, yeah, but maybe I should have gotten it, but I can't do it. And she takes out a bag, holds it up, there's the Carl Ystripsky card. That's a keeper. Oh, I absolutely still have it. It's on my desk at work. One last thing, another theme. Everybody, there's so much New York City that's here. My father was a detective in NYPD in the Fun City years. Not very fun back then. Also U.S. Army, for those who are veterans. My father came right off the boat, a farm in Western Ireland. I'm not going to cry, so I'm not going to do it this time. But I will say he left us a few years ago. He was a first responder at 9/11 as well. Again, just part of that generation. He's a generous, warm, loving grandfather to all the kids. Fantastic guy, and he'd come home after working round-the-clock shifts, and he would catch for me. And he was a left-hander, a left-handed mitt. He'd squat down because I was a pitcher, and he'd catch for me all these years. It was only until years later that I realized he's an Irishman. He didn't know baseball. You talk about Europeans, no clue, and they're running from base to base in the wrong direction. He learned baseball, and he would take me to Yankee Stadium with my grandfather, also off the boat in Northern Ireland, off a tiny farm. But they were, by the time I was a kid, they knew all about Yankee Stadium, Shea Stadium. We were going to ball games. My father was my coach. We were playing baseball. I said, how do these guys know baseball so quickly? And to them, knowing baseball, loving baseball, was part of being an American. And it was important to them. Grandparents, my great uncles and great aunts, they came here to the Bronx, they came to Queens, went to Brooklyn, and they all said, and we came to paradise. Here, as lovely as Ireland is, they came to the United States, New York City, into this paradise. And I remember now, and I think about it, my father was always, an actual Irishman. If you ask me, what are you? We all have our subgroups, whether it's, Cuban, Italian, anything else. And of course, I would say, I'm Irish. Well, what are you? I'm Irish. Yes, my father, he would say, I'm American. It's a difference. The United States. And coming here for baseball, it's still, you get that nostalgic feeling, you get that feeling of loving baseball, and it matters to the generation, and it matters when you honor the greats. I would just say thank you for including me in a class of greats. I'm honored, I'm thrilled that my family is here to see it. Thank you, everybody.